Good morning everybody, and this is your Forex day trade setups for today. So starting off with Euro USD, you can see we still got our key levels drawn in from Friday, and we haven't really made much progress. We're just basically swinging up and down between the two levels, and that is pretty much an indication of the indecision that's going on in the market at the moment. So you can see we kind of hit the top of the range at 118.880 and then basically rejected it, came back. The nice thing about this is it came back into the 50% of the previous move, okay, and then we've tested it. Now we've got a bit of a gap up and a move down. I would expect this gap to close. There's also a bit of a trend line break here, okay, which is right there. So I would expect this level to be tested, 118.594. If that holds, definitely would be expecting another move to 118.880. Okay, not interested in shorting at the moment, and the reason for that is there is this potential inverse head and shoulders forming here. So there's a shoulder, there's a head, and this is a shoulder that's forming here. So I'm a little bit cautious at the moment, I think is probably the right word. So yeah, so I would expect a bit of a pullback back into this area and then see what transpires there, but I'm definitely expecting this would be your stop area below these swing lows here at 118.510 and then a move back up to 118.880. Not much of a move, but that's what I see at the moment. Moving on to US dollar Japanese yen. This is purely sideways at the moment. As you can see, there's a pretty strong move down, and now we've gone sideways. And for long as it goes sideways like this with green and red bars up, big down, big up, big down, big confusion, that's pretty much what's transpiring here at the moment. Okay, so, and you can see it very clearly there. Okay, for all intents and purposes, the trend is still to the downside. We're still below the moving average. We're bouncing off it at the moment, but we've got some pretty big weekly levels below us. This, and as a result, I'm not interested in this one at all. Sit on the sidelines there. Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar. So the overall trend at the moment is up. You can see we are in a pretty well-defined channel at the moment. We bounced off the bottom of the channel. We're now moving back the upside. What we do need to pay attention to is this area that we're in now. And let me just do that. You can see a bit of support found there. No, sorry, resistance found there. Okay, just put that on price. Resistance, resistance, resistance. And then we try to find support. We failed. We're back above it. I would expect us to come back and test this area of 0.95505 and come back onto that area. We do have a bit of a gap that's formed as well, and then let's see what transpires over there. So that would be a retest of the moving average as well. Okay, so 0.95505. If we can find some support there, I'd expect us to move pretty much back up into this area of congestion here, and that would be at 0.95762. So bounce down here, find some support, and then I'd expect us to come back up. Watch this level that we're at the moment as well. It could find some support here. Just zoom back out. So, and you can see there is a bit of support, quite a bit of support here as well. It just depends whether this gets flipped into support at the moment or whether it rejects it. But anyway, that's kind of my play there. It's not really rock solid, but I suppose it's worth playing the outer levels of the support and resistance here. Euro Aussie dollar, another one that we've been in a pretty strong downtrend, and now we are bouncing around. Okay, now it does look like we are forming some higher lows here and higher highs. We haven't broken through the moving average on the 8 hour yet, but if we move down to the hour, you'll see pretty much finding some support on this trend line here, but still in a downward trend. So this was the downward trend. A difficult one to call at the moment because we do have this diagonal below us as well. But this is the line in the sand. So 162.385. If we reject this again, and possible, then I would expect us to move down. But ultimately, I think if you're looking for shorts here, you need to be looking for a break below 162062. Okay, so until one of these levels breaks, and you can see I'll be tagging that level right now. So until one of these two levels breaks, that's pretty much my view on this at the moment. So the bias is to the downside though. Okay, so the bias is for a stronger Aussie dollar here. Only reason for that is we've had this strong move down and now consolidating, but I don't want to just jump in on this. I want confirmation, so it's going to be a break below here. Okay, 162062. Okay, so that's one worth watching at the moment. British pound, Japanese yen. This trend line has held, and as I said on Friday, we should probably get back into this area of congestion, which is exactly what's happened, and we've gapped up into it now. So we just look at this on the hour, you'll see broke below this area, and now we're right back at it again, and kind of rejecting it. So I would expect this gap to close at least, and I'm not entirely sure I want to take a trade here, but if we do get back to this area of 137858 and it does hold, then I may be interested in taking a trade back up to this area here of 138217. But we're going to have to wait and see what transpires there. For me at the moment, looking to the left, we're in this area of congestion again, so I would expect us to continue bouncing around. So yeah, so that's not really a decent trade. It's not a sure bet trade. Aussie dollar, US dollar. Pretty much a similar situation here. We are in this area of consolidation. Look to left here, and we're back in this area. We're kind of at the top of that consolidation. So, and this unfortunately is going to be driven by politics and the virus at the moment in the US. So we do have a bit of a trend line forming. There it is there. But we're in the sideways consolidation. So the most logical play here is to move to the downside. But if you look at all of this, this has been a pretty slow and structured move to the upside. Possibly something like a move to close the gap, find some support on 073. If we can get a support on 073, then another move back to the upside here at 073.269. I think we need to get through 073.269 and come back and test it for me to start looking at this at the moment. So yeah, if it does drop below 073 and come back and test it, then you've got a bigger short to come down to test 072.595. So that's kind of the view that I've got at the moment on this one, but it's really not concrete. I prefer to take sure bet trades, and that's not one of them. A British pound, Aussie dollar. So we are sideways at the moment, and I think this is pretty much the same as what it was last week at the moment. There's nothing up, nothing there, that's for sure. Look at all these tails. Okay, so we're really going to have to break above 182.904 before we start getting any direction here. So for this is money in pocket for me. I'm not interested in this at the moment. Really not trending right now. So we will wait and see what transpires on this one. But you can see below, above, below the moving average. Moving average is slightly pointing to the upside. So it gives you a slight bias that we could be moving up higher. But personally, I think it's probably safer just to sit and watch this. So yeah, I think that's pretty much the story on the markets at the moment. There is a lot of, I'm not going to call it confusion, because it's not really confusion, but it's kind of people just sitting back and waiting, being patient, waiting for the politicians to sort their nonsense out, waiting to see where we're going with the vaccines on the coronavirus, waiting to see what Black Friday is going, Cyber Monday is going to bring to the retail sector, and there's a whole lot of little things that everybody's waiting for. So I think in the back of everybody's mind is Christmas rally as well, that they're looking for, where we're going to get to consumer spending. But until that happens, and until the politicians sort their nonsense out, I think this is what you're going to see. It's going to continue bouncing around, and you'll probably find on the forex pairs, and I hate to say this, but you'll probably find going down to the lower time frames, you are going to get better opportunities, but your risk is going to be so high. I mean, look at, in 15 minutes how you can just swing above and below the previous highs and lows. So your structure trades are just not going to work. So yeah, for me, it's just wiser just to be patient and sit on your hands and wait for it. It's pretty much what I'm doing today by the looks of things. I don't see anything. Anyway, enough rambling from me. Hope that helps, and we'll catch up with you later. Cheers for now.